Welcome to your 2017 year-long reading, Capricorn. This is a free reading that will be available to you all of December by Trudy. That would be me. And this is audio only, and so please enjoy the thumbnail that you see to the right because that is actually the lay of the cards. And so if you're learning with me, or if you'd like to join my class, this may be a good thing for you to review later on in the year. And so you can see a complicated spread that actually shows you how one card relates to the other. But that said, let's get on with your reading. First card to come up for you, very good card for Capricorn, is the Eight of Pentacles. And this card just showed up, interestingly enough, in the Cancer reading. And so if you have Cancer in your chart, please check that out. This also will relate to Ascendant and Moon in Capricorn, as well as Sun. And so January has you working very hard, paying attention to detail. You're the fastidious one. You are the one who makes things happen. Multiple projects that you will be working on. I hear that Capricorn is whistling a merry tune. Maybe even singing in the shower, but this is a really nice, happy little month. I'm hearing whistle while you work, and you're head down and you're creating maybe spreadsheets or process. Quite a few projects going on at the same time. This is you in your element. You are able to handle it all. And if you are actually working within an environment where you are swinging plates around, let's say in a restaurant, or you're in the hospitality industry, this shows me that you've got it happening. And if you're in the catering world, you've got that going on, you've got that handled. Now also, this speaks to the fact that you're merry in January, which, take it as you will, but others see you working away and they're inspired by your ability to basically toss things into the air and catch them as you will. Now, for some of you, you may find that you're handling lots of different practical relationships on the ground, and that you may have to find people to support you in this endeavor, and that would mean that there would be some apprentices around you, people who are helping you out, and that is happening for you in January. And so detail is very important, making sure that you do pay attention to detail in January, but you're going to feel inclined to do so. Now, if you're looking at the prospects of maybe going back to school or learning something new, this is a green light. Spirit is saying go for it, that it looks as if this will work out very well. Anything that you would like to learn that is new or teach to someone, and this could be a new student, somebody who you mentor. Again, the next card to come up came up for Cancer, and it is the Nine of Wands, and it is in the position of February. And so again, this is a beautiful card. This just shows us that you've got to maintain your position, whatever it is that you're working on or that you have been working on, is one of these many rods. And so you're very good at building your future. However, you might feel a little beat up in February, and there may be some vying for position, and there might be somebody who wants to take credit for what you've done. And so you got to stand firm, but you're pretty good at that. And Capricorns are great at standing their ground, and really that's what this is all about. And so I do hear some stand your ground in February, but that's okay. And here again, I do deal with two decks at the same time. This happened for Cancer, but yours is coming up in the upright. And so it looks like in the spring, and what we have for March is once again head down. And so you might find that the springtime is bringing a position, a situation that is elevated beyond where you've been in the past, and that someone else may look or be sniffing around, and you might feel a little bit concerned or worried about that, but really you have nothing to worry about. You're just going to go straight back to work once this little hiccup is over. If somebody's checking it out and looking behind the scenes of what you're doing, it's all going to be fine. Again, you're on guard, you're a sentry in February, and that type of energy is just coming up for you, and so it looks as if all will be well. Wow, nice compliment by Spirit. Okay, so we have strength in April, and that's really beautiful. And so you're very elegant, assured, calm. You've got control of the situation. You've actually even found self-control here, and you're just, although you are the goat, this is the card of Leo. And it is a major arcana card, major compliment by Spirit in April, that you're a leader. Not only are you focused and able to support yourself and others, and you're a protector, I see that, but you've also got a magnificent strength that you're drawing from in April. And so that month seems to be all about charming the pants off people around you. And so if you're looking for love, that could be a very nice time to put yourself in a position where you can be admired, as would a Leo be admired. And if you have Leo in your chart, Capricorn, this is something that you need. And so you might need to let those around you know that you do like to be admired, but you're very strong and high compliment by Spirit. Now, what do we have in May? Interesting. We have the Ten of Swords. It's reversed. Better reversed. You never really want to see this card in a reading, but then again, if you do, you want to see it reversed. And so it looks like for our Capricorns that there's going to be a blow. It could be a blow to the ego. It could be a misstep. It could be something that we regret. It could be a moment even. And so it can mean that you want to just take care in May. And May would be the month where you may have felt as if you had to sit too long, sit over something, and the reason that comes to mind is that there could be some slight back problems that you want to pay attention to and focus on. But this is reversed, and so whatever it has been in the past that's been nailing you to the floor, those swords are falling out one by one, and you're basically almost it's almost as if you have cheated death. That is what I'm hearing, and that could be a metaphorical death. But you've moved out of the way very quickly of a possible oncoming situation that would not be good. But this is, you might not even know that this is happening or that you've sidestepped this situation. But it's a close call, basically, is what I'm seeing here. And but it's no big deal because it's fine. You are safe and it is handled. Now, also, if you feel as if somebody's at your back and they're causing you grief constantly on a day-by-day basis, Spirit's saying you're going to be able to handle that. Unlike other signs, you are able and up to task. So you are a victor. You're strong enough to deal with this situation, whatever it may be. It would have probably not gone as well for someone who wasn't as capable as you are, but another high compliment by Spirit. Now we have the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. You are a pentacle, and that's coming up in June, and that's Spirit just saying, hey, we get it. You are very capable when it comes to handling a situation, but do not get stuck in the mire. Don't get in your own way. Don't become stubborn. Stay graceful and fluid, as that Strength card would tell you that you've got the ability to do. This inner strength. Draw from this inner strength that we see popping up here in March. March is a very good month for you. March is going to get you through, and again, April and May, we've got a little bit of, hey, I don't know about this. I might just want to stay where I'm at because I'm going to actually have the last word, and I see that as well. You have the last word, but then again, you don't want that to keep you in position because you've got to keep moving forward. So, responsibility, more and more responsibility. Okay, and so we see for Capricorn, there's a little drop here of the responsibility, and that's not always a bad thing. It looks as if you're getting a little surly here, and that you might say, hey, if I'm not going to do it, who will? You stand your ground. I see a lot of standing of the ground this year. Again, if you feel going into May and now into June that you're not being treated fairly, again, communication could be key. But then again, you are the Knight of Pentacles. And so get up on that horse and ride. Show them where the money is, I'm hearing. And don't allow the situation that happened to you in May hold you back. So this is actually Five of Swords in May. So someone may have tried to put you down, but it didn't work. You were able to stand up against whatever situation you feel could ruin you. And that's what I'm hearing. Ruin your career, ruin your life. That's coming up in May. And it doesn't feel good, but you deal with it and you handle it and you withdraw that sword, those swords out of your back. And again, when we come back to this card, this 10, it's reversed, and it comes out of nowhere. And so that means that this is like a situation which could have been the end, but instead it's the beginning. And so as we move into June, we see that you're stopping. You've come to a complete stop, this Knight of Pentacles, and you're just going to stand there for a moment until you decide exactly where you want to go and what makes sense, what's practical, where do you want to move toward, and how do you want to invest in your future, the movement toward future. Now, you're not willing to pick up the responsibilities perhaps that you've had in the past because you've learned, you've sidestepped, and you know that, hey, sometimes the best thing to do is not pick it up again. Even though in the past you've become responsible for everyone and everything around you, it looks as if you need to reassess and reevaluate that. And you're strong enough to do so. So that's a really nice thing. The moon comes up reversed. Again, better in the reverse. And so there's a little bit of moodiness that's going on. And so if you have any water in your chart, Capricorn, take a look at that, because this just says that you might be feeling just a little bit blue after all of this has gone on. Again, you have strength of character. You're able to deal with this. You're able to take a look at what's happening. August, that is the card of August. And so in August, just coming out of this sense of sidestepping some issue which came up for us in May. Stop. Basically, it's stop, drop, and roll, kind of. That I'm hearing that in the summer. There's a bit of that going on, and rolling away from this, whatever this concern, this situation that has you pinned quickly. It's a quick thing that happens, and you quickly move out of it. It's got you feeling a little down maybe, and I'm seeing some of that toward the end of the summer, but I also see that it's kind of a sexy card because it's the moon, and that I'm hearing for some of you, you are going to be feeling as if you want to spend time with someone who can understand how you feel deep down inside. That's, hanging out with someone even. I can hear that. Okay, and that someone could be the Queen of Swords. That's the next card to come up. And she is an air sign, and she's a Gemini, an Aquarius, or a Libra, and she comes forth, and she's logical and rational, and she can also be a lawyer. She could be someone who helps you out in this situation and sort of takes this responsibility off your shoulders. Now, again, if you are one of our beautiful Capricorn males out there, she may pop up and just give you some relief and from all of this responsibility that you've taken on. But you've got the strength of character to deal with her. She's light and airy, she's a butterfly, and she's also able to see her way around the situation in a 360 degree way, which is very nice. And so you're not going to get lost in reverie here. You've got someone to pull you out of the ditch and to say, hey, that's not where we're going. Now, this could also be your energy. This could represent you if you're female. If you're coupled, it could represent your partner. But this is just the more receptive aspects of air. She's a good listener, but she's also very logical, rational, and she's not going to fly off the handle over this situation. She's going to give you a nice, very serious, very well thought out point of view. And so that's good to know. Moving into October, we have the Hierophant. Oh my word, look at that. We have the Hierophant. That is a wonderful card that can also represent a religious institution. Very interesting. It can represent the institution of marriage. It can represent a larger organization. It can represent influences that are higher. This is as if the goat is climbing the mountain, and so you get to the top of the mountain and you speak to the guru, to the pope, to the counselor, or you are the counselor. But this is a very blessed time for you, and it seems as if you are thinking of getting married. This could be the year to get married, and it might just come out of nowhere. It seems as if toward the fall, maybe some of this reverie, you're coming out of your reverie and you're saying to yourself, gee, maybe it's time to go public with a situation. Maybe it's time to take this to the news media, I'm hearing. Maybe something is being published. You're out in front of a community. Or you could be maybe considering getting engaged, having your child baptized. There are all kinds of things that go along with this card, but within this reading, it looks to me as if there have been some trials that you've had to adjust to. And there's an incident in May, and again, be aware, just keep your eyes peeled, and it's going to pass, and you're going to be fine. So it can be mundane. It could be just a notice, a memo, something that you have to defend yourself against, but it gets you to stop in your tracks and to reassess exactly what it is you're doing for others and why you're doing that thing, and does that Is that even what you want to do? Do you need to recommunicate out to the people that you are involved with, your needs and what you want, and maybe your needs are not being met? But there's a bit of maybe late night conversation going on, and I say that because I see this Queen of Swords, and she is the conversationalist. She's the one who communicates, and she's the one who believes that there is a right and a wrong, and so there is some of that happening for you toward the end of the year. November. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's the Queen of Pentacles. And so, again, you are centered here with two queens. One is in the upright and one is in the reverse. And so there may be, for some of you, a situation where you're weighing out whether or not you want to make something formal with one of these queens. And there's a queen who looks more attractive perhaps than the other. Or if this is the same queen showing different aspects of her personality, this could mean that she's just not quite as grounded as you are, and that moves you into November, but you're thinking of creating a union here, one way or the other. And so for some of you, you're going to find that you want to make a legal contract here with one of these women. These are people cards, and the legal contract may go extremely well, but there is a time period where you're going to wonder if this situation is as solid as you would like for it to be, and maybe she's not as strategic as you would like for her to be. If she's you, this situation could seriously, as a female, this marriage, it might make you feel a little bit unhinged initially, but it's still a good card, the Queen of Pentacles. You've got to ask yourself, how am I going to move forward and create even a garden, a beautiful environment surrounding for myself? This is a reading that isn't showing me family, but it's showing me strategy, and it's showing how you move through the year by creating a sense of stability within a society, within a community. Creating community even is very important this year, and finding your way within a larger organization seems to be very important toward the end of the year. And will you be able to move toward this organization, this higher structure, these values? Yes, you can move with that and with them. Now, if you're moving for a job, is this a big financial payoff for you? It might not be. It might be a lateral move. But then again, you seem to benefit from this because it's a long-term plan. This is going to benefit you because it's right. And then at the end, we have the Queen of Cups. Oh my gosh, we have 3 queens. Look at this. Wow. So you're the only sign that is getting all people cards at the end with the Hierophant mixed in here. So if you're a male Capricorn, you are surrounded by females at the end of the year. And these females seem to want to become a part of your organizational process, or even they want to be hired by you, or they're working with you, or they're joining you. It's almost as if I want to say a harem, but that's a awful thing to say, really. It just comes to mind, and thank you. Sometimes they say things like that. But if you're looking for love, we've got a lot of energy here. It's all female. That does not mean that these are all women, but this says that there's a lot of joy surrounding you, counsel surrounding you. There's this wonderful sense of friendship toward the end of the year. There's community toward the end of the year. All of these women enter your life. First, it's this Queen of Swords. She is an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Then we have the Hierophant, which this woman, this energy pulls you out of your reverie, moving into the fall. And what do we have? We have two more queens. Queen of Pentacles. She is reversed, but a lot more fun reversed sometimes. Sometimes this just points out the fact that she wants to be grounded and she's working toward that, but she's feeling a little more playful, and that could be fun for you. And then we have the Queen of Cups in the upright. She's a water sign, and also water signs can be very good for Capricorns. And so I see this reading and I'm thinking, wow, you're head down, you're working out, you're hammering out details, you're focused, and toward the end of the month, it's all about these women entering your life, or this female energy all around you. The only energy we're missing is the Queen of Wands, and I guess that's nice because she's sometimes the more impulsive queen. These three queens seem to have your back, and so December ends with the Queen of Cups, the perfect woman, the goddess. She's the one who you would really want to connect with emotionally. It's funny that we don't have any cup cards in this reading until the very end, and this female shows up. We've got a lot of pentacles and some swords too. So I would say that if these swords, if this comes at you, and you're not in May understanding why you're being nailed to the wall here, and you decide to take a pause and not pick up the responsibility, toward the end of the year, we've got movement as to where there's an understanding of what happened here, of why you were nailed to the wall, because this Queen of Swords could nail you to the wall, but she's actually in the upright, and so maybe there's an understanding here toward the end of the year as to what was actually happening in May. You might find that towards the end of the year you actually agree, you come to some type of agreement with this Queen of Swords about this situation in May, and that draws you toward actually creating something, this value system with her, and even just going to church. I can see that, joining a church, sort of the two of you just putting down the swords and saying, you know what, we're going to let someone else make the decision here. And when you do, you're going to become part of a larger community. A lot of female energy here. If you're female, and this is you, you're going to say, hey, I got this. Now I'm finally figuring this out for myself, how this happened. I'm in the driver's seat. I feel calm, cool, and collected about this entire situation. And I'm feeling like I got this. I'm in the right. I don't have to worry. I can actually create some semblance of structure, and I'm going to do that by joining some organizations and meeting some other people, some other types of people, personalities that are unlike me. And I can see that with this Queen of Pentacles because she's reversed. You've got to incorporate some different types of thinking into what you're doing. And when you do, it's going to be great. And so there you go, Capricorn. Amazing reading. Some of you are going to, I believe, get married because we do have this Hierophant showing up. And you got to work your way through whatever's happening at work. But it looks as if there's some type of agreement that you come to here with yourself or with someone else, and you move right past what it was. There's a nice gathering of female energy. So nice to see. Happy 2017. This was a big reading. I do love seeing this Queen of Cups at the very end for you. And I do feel as if this reading has a lot to do with, if you're male, opening yourself up to other personality types and allowing those personalities to draw you out of the reverie of the summer. And if you're female, this reading is a high compliment by Spirit because it is saying that you are in command and control. You pull yourself out of this situation via contract and or just by reading the fine print. Whatever's going on here, you got it. You've got it handled, and you make sure that everyone around you knows that you have it handled, and you have the blessing of the organization, or you decide that you're going to make it right and legal, whatever it is that you're working on. And that can even mean that if you are in relationship, it's time to make it right and legal. If you're in relationship with a Leo, perhaps, we make it right and legal. And when we do, you're going to come out of it, and you may not benefit as much financially from the relationship toward the end of the year, but you will benefit emotionally. And so there you go. Blessings to you.